Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Central. If you're new here, my name is Shayla, and today I'm reviewing Glenmorangie, the original. So I've got some history for you today, but if you want to skip around to other parts of the video, there's timestamps in the description box below. And if you enjoy whiskey reviews, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. So this is called Glenmorangie the original because they used this main spirit as the base for all of their other wine cask expressions. Glenmorangie started as a local brewery in the town of Tain. John and William Matheson converted it into a distillery in 1843, and they started distilling in 1849. In 1931, the distillery was forced to close due to global depression and the American Prohibition Act, but it reopened in 1936. After they opened again, production at Glenmorangie was booming, and in the 1980s they chose to expand. They put in new stills, a visitor center, and eventually a museum. In 2004, the McDougall family decided to sell Glenmorangie and the other distilleries they owned, including Ardbeg on Islay. The bidding war over the company was a frenzy, which ended in a $300 million bid from Moet Hennessy. For generations, Glenmorangie has been distilled by locals known as the Men of Tain. To this day, Glenmorangie is distilled by only 16 to 24 of these men. Many have worked there for generations and are passing on the traditions down to their sons. And also just a cool thing about the Glenmorangie logo, it was inspired by an 8th century stone that was carved by an ancient civilization called the Picts, who ruled northern Scotland. Alright, so let's get into the details of this whiskey. Glenmorangie uses unpeated barley along with water from the Tarlogie Springs, which is actually a harder water than most other distilleries use. They have a long fermentation and very tall stills with a lot of copper contact to create a lighter whiskey. The stills are the tallest in Scotland and are as tall as a full-grown male giraffe. Way back in the day, they bought used gin stills and have continued using that same still shape ever since. This bottle will run you about $30. It's owned by Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, or LVMH. It's located in the Highland region of Scotland. It's aged for 10 years. It's 43% ABV, or 86 proof. It's made from 100% malted barley, and this one is colored and chill filtered. It's aged in ex-bourbon casks, and cask selection is very important at Glenmorangie. They're very particular about what they'll use. For example, their ex-bourbon casks are slow-growth American white oak from north-facing slopes in Missouri that is then air-dried. Yeah. Many distilleries will reuse their casks up to about 6 times, but Glenmorangie only uses first and second fill ex-bourbon casks. Alright, well, I'm going to pour a dram of this, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've been letting this open up for about 10 minutes. Let's go in for a nose. So the first thing I get is this really nice cream custard note, but it has some citrus in there, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of orange. There's some honey in there, a really, really sweet caramel note. It's really fresh too. There's kind of these tea notes, a little bit of spice. It's super fruity too. There's pear, banana, apple. And then you get this really, really nice vanilla. It just kind of like wraps everything up in vanilla. And then there's a little bit of a floral note in there as well. All right, let's go on the palate. Cheers, guys. So it's really sweet. You get a slight nuttiness, really, really creamy, and then you get a little bit of baking spice. Nothing crazy going on. Let's have another sip. Cheers. So for the finish, I would say medium. It's got a really nice mouthfeel. It's very creamy. There's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit drying on the back end, but it's nice because it kind of balances out that upfront sweetness. A little bit of spice. There's nothing crazy going on, but this is pretty good. So I'm gonna finish it up and I'll be right back with my recommendation. So this is a pretty nice sipper. It's great value. I wish it had a little bit more complexity, but for this price, it's hard to complain. I do think that this is a great starter scotch. And if you have a Total Wine nearby, they have these sampler packs with the original, the sherry finish, port finish, and sauterne finish. So if you like Glenmorangie and you want to explore their wine cask finishings, I think that would be a great place to start. If you like this and you want to branch out from Glenmorangie, you probably would like a Deanston 12, a Tomatin 12, or a Glengoyne. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Whiskey Central. For the next couple of weeks, I'll be doing gift buying and whiskey buying guides for the holiday season. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave it a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Okay, let's do this bitch. Whoop. Fuck. Fuck. Maybe I'm doing this while I'm sick. Ugh, just getting shit done. Okay. Generations. I need water. For generations, Glenmorangie has been